So let me just start with this. So we have the field types and charts in this particular module. So I'll cover certain charts there. Okay, some basic charts there. Right now, I'm not going into the advanced charts. So I'll start with the auto-generated fields and some formatting with the titles, caption, tooltips. Okay, some of the widely used things there, some formatting that you will be using it again and again. Some of this will cover in the class. Some of this I leave it to you guys to explore around. Okay, and then we'll move into the charts part in the later part, whereby we'll be discovering rather than exploring some of the commonly used charts like bar charts, stacked bar charts, side by side bar charts, then some formatting here and there, and then some line charts, and then area charts, then pie chart. All these are the basic charts that we are going to cover today. Okay, I'm not going to go into the advanced version. So the last class that I'm going to have would be the one containing the all the advanced charts that you can actually make in Tableau. Okay, so let me just quickly move on to the first part that would be our auto generated fields. So in Tableau, whenever we export our data, or let's say whenever we connect to the import our data, and let's say whenever we connect to a data source, we get our fields in the left side of the our sheet there. And when you see it here, there are certain auto generated fields that are generated by Tableau on its own. Okay, what are these fields? So as you can see, these measure names here, measure values, number of records, longitudes generated, latitudes generated. So these are my 5 auto-generated fields that will by default come up whenever I'll connect to a data and open it. Okay. Uh, Again, if we have some state or some postal code or some city or some country, I mean any geographical role, if we have present in this, then we'll get this latitude and longitude codes. Otherwise, we won't get these codes here. Okay, but these three will anyways get it by default: measure names, measure values, and number of records here. Okay, so latitude and longitude is something that we'll cover when we'll do the maps part. Right now, what we can cover is the other three: measure names, measure values, and number of records. So I think the ideal way would be once we go into the Tableau sheet, and then let us explore it there. Okay, I think since we have it here, maybe we can explore the latitude and longitude as well. Okay, so again, as you can see now, measure names, latitude, longitude, measure values, and order count. Yeah, so this count is also one thing that is there. This gives us basically the total number of records that we have here. Okay, I think this should be 51,000. Okay, it's coming up. I think this should be around 51,290. Not completely sure. Okay. Okay, I think it's taking a bit to load because it's getting loaded for the first time. Yeah, it's 51,290. So this is giving me the number of records that are there. So number of rows that are there in the in my data here. So as you can see, 51,290. Okay, or let's say if we are exploring these measure values here or measure names here. So measure names, if I double click on it, as you can see, I get the count of everything that is there, and the sum values. Again, basically all the aggregations is what I'll get here, as you can see, but I get it in the text form now. As you can see, all these measures values are put it in the text. So let's say, why is this particular thing useful? So let's say you want to have an overall understanding, an aggregated view of your data. Let's say you are starting with your exploratory data analysis part there, and you want to cover the basic fundamental what is in your data. Okay, at the fundamental level, you want to see an overview or an overall picture that is there. So you can go for the Just double clicking on this measure names here, and you will have all the values here in the text form. Let's say you want to visualize it. So you can just double click here, and now you can have it in the um, visualization form. So both are giving us the same thing. It's just that in the first case, we are getting it in the text part. Since this part is kept here, if I keep it here, I'll get back my same visualization. Okay, or let's say in the second part, when I clicked it on the measure values here, I have the measure values here. If I put it here, I'll get the same thing here. So one and the same thing. Now let's say again, if you want to um, exclude some variables from your analysis, you can just simply throw them away from here. Okay, and as soon as you throw them away, you can see the filter has come up. Again, you can edit this filter. You can see profit, quantity, sales. I just threw it away. If I get all three of them back, I can do that as well. Okay, and now even if I remove this, that doesn't really matter. But as soon as I remove one of them, you can see this filter value has come up here. So just to have an overall analysis, this auto-generated field is something that we can use, the measure values and the measure names here. And again, the order counts. This is for the number of records, just to see there. This will anyways come up here, as you can see, count of orders here. Okay, so these are our auto-generated fields and how to recognize them. As you can see, we have all these 5 fields in italics here. Okay, so wherever you see italics, these are our auto-generated fields. And let me just show you the map values as well. So let's say if I place in country somewhere. Okay, where is the country? Okay, if I double click on it, you can just simply see latitude and longitudes that were earlier there. Okay, they have come up. Okay, these latitudes and longitudes that were generated earlier, they have come up. Again, this will be useful when we are doing a wider analysis in the maps. But just to show you on a quick end, maybe let's say I just filter out on a country. Let it be India. Okay, so it will show me India as 1 point here. Okay, but let's say if I want to see some number here, let's say profit, I can just click on profit. Okay, right now it has taken it in this part. Uh, Maybe instead of country, if I put state wise, let me put it into the state. Okay, now you can see wherever you see the bigger circle there, the more profitable the state is. If I want, I can just change this to a field map. Now you can see wherever the region is darkest, more profitable area. So Maharashtra is more profitable. Uttar Pradesh is more profitable here. Okay, so likewise, and maybe least profitable, maybe Manipur 354 here, or maybe Assam with almost same amount. So likewise, we have our uh, numbers here. Okay, again, this is something that we are going to explore in the maps part. Just to give you an overview, I just showed you here. Okay, so we have 5 auto-generated fields: measure names, measure values, order counts. In this, again, this will change depending upon what our file name is. If let's say my file name is returns, then returns count. Okay, then longitude generated and latitude generated. I see we have some question. Oh, it's not here. Okay. Uh, are we good with this? Any questions on our auto-generated fields? Okay.
No,
Abhishek,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
the measured values column is there, right? Like the auto-generated field. So that is basically for the columns with numbers. Like it will be given as a default value. It will give the default value as if like for latitude and longitude we are getting for the country and city, right? So is it like that?
So see, anyways, this measure values is something. If you okay, if you click on here, okay, if you double click on here, you'll just get the all the numbers here with a visualization. Okay, and these numbers are nothing but for the measure values only. Okay, it's not like you'll get it for these dimension values. You'll get only for measure values. That is why it is written measure values. Same here,
Yeah,
measure
okay, got
values.
it. Yeah, yeah, got it.
Okay. Okay. Let me just switch back to slide once. Mm, it's getting difficult for me as well too. Okay. So if you see now, after auto-generated fields, we have title, captions, and tooltips. So these are the three things. Uh, in again, there are several ways text can appear on a sheet, but these are the three main ways. You can see uh, titles and captions are the things that, again, title is something, as the name suggests, the heading for your visualization. Caption is something that describes that the what is there in the view. Okay, so automatically it changes depending upon whatever is there in our view. And again, that is something that can be edited as well, something that we are going to see. And then tooltips in Tableau, whenever we hover over a particular element of a graph or a visualization, we see that a certain pop-up that comes up, and that pop-up is dynamic based on which bar, or let's say if it's a line chart, then what part of the line chart we are hovering over to, and that actually gives the value of that particular part there. Okay, so tooltips, again, I can just read it out, are additional data details that displays when you hover over any particular marks in the view. When I say marks, I mean any particular point that is there uh, in a view. Okay. Okay. And then we have the legends part there. Uh, Again, that shows us maybe the color is one thing that can be shown in the legend, which shows us again shapes or colors in your views can be two things that can be there. Again, describes a particular thing. So let's say if it's a shape, the bigger it is, the more the number would be, something like that. If it's a color, so if let's say if it's a red color, it's something dangerous. If it's a green color, something good to go ahead, something like that. So again, these are things that we are going to see in detail now. Uh, and let us see in the Tableau part only. I think this is a better way to understand. So I have in here market wise, sorry, year wise, a sum of sales for different markets here. Okay. So as you can see, let me just build it once again. So I have year wise sum of sales for different markets. Okay. Let me switch on the text. Again, these are all the best practices. Switch on the text, make it sorting. Okay. Just sort it right away, switch on the text so that you can see the number, so that you can see these are all best practices to present it visually in a best manner. You should first make it this way. Again, for your understanding as well, it would be better if you are doing any analysis. If the data is sorted, if the text is on, you can actually look into it in a better way. Okay, so we have this. Now we want to format our title. So there are two ways that you can do it. Okay, either you can just double click here and select and change the name here. This way, see, by default, it is taking a sheet name right now. Okay. Uh, so if I change the sheet name here, let's say format title, and I click enter. So it has taken by default the same name. But if I make any change here and click on OK, so that would be my sheet name, but that won't be reflected here. So as a best practice, I would recommend always name your sheet here so that it comes up here, and so that you can just edit it from here itself, so that both ways you have the same name here as well for the sheet as well, and again for the title as well. Okay, and then you can do the formatting part. Maybe you can just select the text here, Tableau medium. Then maybe if it's a um, title, maybe you can give a bigger um, font there, then make it bold. Maybe you can select a different color here. Maybe you can just center align it. Okay, insert option is something that I'm leaving it for now. But let's say if you want to include sum of sales here, so you can just get it there. So again, insert option just for now, just leave it. We'll see to it when will it be useful. I think during dashboard time we'll see it, and click on OK. Now you can see I have my title formatted here. Okay, and let's say if I want to give a background to this title, I can just right click here, click on format title, and I have shading as well. So I can give a different shade, maybe this one. Or if I can go to the more colors option, I can go to the more colors, maybe a darker color here. Or let's say if I want a different shade, I can just get a something like this. So let's say if I've fixed onto one particular color and I want to continue with that color. So what I can actually do is I can just, once the color is fixed, I can take these HTML codes from here, and everywhere I can put in these codes so that the consistency remains throughout. Okay, so usually for a visualization project, we have our codes that are there. Okay, we generally when we talk to client, we ask them if they have any particular set of color palettes that they are using, and all that we can include in this sheet here. Okay, and then maybe we can click on OK. Okay, so I think we are good till here, formatting the title. So let's say if you want to provide the background there as well, we can just simply click on maybe any of these colors. And then we have the option of broken lines, and then the dotted lines here. And then again, we have the option of thickness for these lines. So this is something that we can experiment with. Again, visually, this would look very bad right now here. Okay, just ignore the color combinations and all. But yeah, just to show you with different options here, I just wanted to make sure that we all are on the same page. Okay, and again, we have the same option here. We can just have the customized codes here, HTML codes. Once we fix on the, let's say we are fixing on the border here, we want the borders for this particular code everywhere. Then we can fix on the codes here. Okay, so this is how we can format our title here. Any question on this? Anyone, any question on this? Okay. Then the next part is hiding these titles. So sometimes when we are switching sheets with parameters, again, too early for you to understand this, but just letting you know. So sometimes when we are switching sheets with parameter, this step becomes very important. Hiding the title, and again, that is one important step there. So in order to hide that, we can just simply click on the hide button here. And let's say if you want to get it back, then um, in this worksheet option, we have the option of show title. We can just click it back and it will be again back on our screen here. Again, in here we have many options. The next would be the caption one. Okay, as I told you, the caption is something that will give us the description of what is there in our view. So as you can see, sum of sales. I'll recommend all of you to work with your captions on in your starting phase so that you can understand the visualizations better. Okay, let me just repeat myself. I just want everyone to work with their captions on so that they can understand the visualizations better. Okay, so as you can see now, uh, it says sum of sales for each market broken down by order date year. Okay, this is what we have got. Sum of sales for each market. Okay, for each market broken down by years 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me make a change here. Maybe let me put category, and you can see now sum of sales for each category broken down by order date, year and market both. Okay, so this way whenever you will uh, change this, whatever is there in your view, it will describe it here. And the next part would be how to edit it. Again, you can just simply right click here, edit option. Okay, again, if you want to manually edit it, something here, you can do it. Uh, or like we did earlier. Let me just change this to, let's say, 12 here. Let me change this to Tableau medium here, then bold, then maybe some other color. Again, I'm not sure. Maybe let me stick to black only. Then maybe center aligned and click on OK. Okay. And then if you want to format the caption, same way, right click formatting. Same dialog box has appeared. And now you can just change the shading part. Let me make it to this only. And then again for the bordering as well, same way you can do it. So I'm taking this dotted line with which color, let's say. Okay, the thickest one here. So this way you can edit and format. Yeah, this way you can edit and format your title and your captions. Any questions still here? No one wants to ask how can we edit this or background and all? Anyone has this question in their mind? No one has this question. Okay, so let me just quickly tell you. So again, the process is same. You can just simply right click and then click on format, and you have this third option here as shading. Okay, you can click on this, and let's say maybe you want some other. Yeah, so you can just do the shading part here. And again, you have this is for the entire worksheet. If you want to do it for pane, then you can just select for this pane option. If you want to do it only for header, mm, okay, mm, I think okay, the same. It has come as same now. Yeah, maybe this option. So you can see your header part. This is your header part. Then this is your pane part here. Okay, again, you can just try it out yourself. How it is turning up. Same way you can try it out with formatting as well. Same way you can try it out with um, alignment as well. Then you have your um, borders here, as you can see. Okay, you can try it out with borders as well. And then you have lines options here. These grid lines here, as you can see, these white lines, whether you want it, if you don't want it, make it as none. Okay, these are all gone. If it is column wise, let me, if I change this to this one and you have column lines and you want to get rid of them, then you can click on OK. Now you can see all these white lines gone. So just try it out, play around with this and see how it turns up. I want you to explore this edit option here completely. Okay, maybe just try with one visualization and try seeing all five of these, how they are turning up. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay. Then the final and the most important part here would be my tool tip. Okay. So let me just quickly make this again. Okay, subcategory market. Okay, I'll just clear this sheet and then I'll get subcategory wise sales, and then I want to see it broken down by market, and I want to see it in terms of colors, so that I've put that in my colors part, the market. So as you can see, the legend has also been something that has come up here now. Okay, and I have again blue represents my African market, orange represents my Asia Pacific, red represents my Europe, again light blue represents my Latin America, and green represents my US Canada. If I want, I can change the color as well. Just double click here. Let's say if I want to change this color to this, or let's say if I want to change this color to this, I can do it. Okay. By default, this is these are all Tableau default colors. Okay, so this is how we have it with us right now. And as you can see, this hovering over that is coming up now. Okay, this is something our tooltip looks like. So for every bar or every part or every mark, as we call it, the exact word would be mark. So let's say for this mark here, the market is Asia Pacific as represented by orange color. The subcategory is copiers as we can see it. And the sales is 5,40,173. So if I just turn the text on, you can see it. Okay, so it is giving me insight here. The tooltip gives me the entire insight about a particular mark. So let's see if I want to customize it. Okay, in here, so what I can do is I can actually write a statement. So let's say in uh, this market would come, the market name would come here. So in this market, mm, for, let me just get rid of this. For this subcategory, and then I can just remove this, not this. I'm just customizing this tooltip. So okay, in this market, for this subcategory, this much sales are done. Okay, and then if I want in the entirety also I can change. Let's say if I change the uh, text color here, and also I can change this as well. So let's say I want to change one by one. Let me make it blue, and let me make this size a bit bigger here, and let me make it to, let's say, red here, and again let me make it to 14, and let me change it to let's say green here, and let me also change this to 14. So now as you can see, now when I hover over this, I'll get my insight in this particular form. In Asia Pacific market, for machine subcategory, 2,25,510 sales are done. Okay, or let me make it to, let me just edit it once again. Let me put a dollar sign here. So now if you see in Asia Pacific market for machine subcategory, these dollar sales are done. Okay, same for any of the other values as well. So let's say in Europe market, For chair subcategory, these sales are done. Again, this is how I can customize my tooltip. Okay. By default, we get it some other view as we saw. Okay. By default, we get this view, but when we customize it, then we can get it in this particular manner here. Okay. And this is again easy. So I have just kept these values here by default, and I've just added the text, whatever I wanted to show. That's it. Okay. Any questions from anyone in this part, in the formatting part?
So Abhishek, like, can we represent the currency formats in the tile bars that we are seeing? We are
Right,
showing the.
right. Good question. That is an excellent question here. Uh, I was wondering, no one has asked this till now. Okay, so we can just actually we can. So there are two ways to do that. One is we can go into the sales part. Okay, and just click on this down arrow or maybe right click here, and then you have the option of mm, default properties. You can go to the number format in here. Okay, and maybe you can change it to currency custom. Sorry, currency custom. Okay, the rupee sign is there. Maybe you can put a dollar. And again, all negative values you can take it. Maybe you can just place this way around it. And let's say we decide on 0 decimal values and click on OK. So now here in these numbers as well, they'll get every time henceforth, since I've changed it from here. Okay, since I changed it from the default properties only. So whenever I place this number now, I'll get the dollar values. So let me just show you quickly. So whenever I put my sales number here, I'll get it with dollars now. Okay, you can see I have dollar values. Let it be anyway. If it is market wise, I'll get the dollar values. Okay, if I do it using this part here, I mean, you are changing the default properties here. Again, as a best practice, I'll recommend always. Okay, I'll just repeat myself. As a best practice, always change it from the default preferences. Okay, the second way that you can do it is, so let's say if it is not, so let me show it some other way. I mean, for some other one. So let's say if I take profit here. Okay, and second way I can do it is, see right now it is coming. Okay, let me just get some other visualization then. So instead of sum of sales, let's say if I have profit here, make it to entire view. Again, best practices, make it entire view, switch on the text, sort the data. Best practices, always, you can never go wrong. Your analysis should always be like that. All the filters that you have placed here always should be opened on the right. Okay, so all the filters should be opened. Again, these are all the best practices that I'm mentioning. This way, it will be always be again easier for you to figure out for a particular sheet. Let's say you want to trying to debug a particular thing, your data is coming like this and all these things you can do it. Just always name your sheets. These are all best practices. Okay, so the second way you can do it is, now you can just again click on this and go to the format part, and you have the option of from the pane you can go select this number option and you can make it as, again, currency custom is something that you can do. So by default rupee is there, so let me change it to dollar. Oh sorry, let me change it to dollar. Now you can see it has been changed. But the thing with this would be, whenever you do it on the next sheet, it won't come like this. Okay, so let's say if I have to if I am doing it in a new sheet now, let's say if I'm doing ship mode wise profit, see that dollar sign is not coming here anymore. Okay, again I have to do it. But if I get it sum of sales here, it will come with a dollar sign, since I have in the first part itself in the default preferences only, I have changed it to the dollar value. Again, that's an excellent question. I was surprised no one asked it till now, but yeah, this is how we should format it. So with this, we know how to format our titles. We know how to format our captions. We know how to hide and unhide our captions. And let's say summary table is also one thing that Tableau provides us. Okay, you have all these values, sum, average, maximum, minimum, whatever you have in here in the view, you'll get the values for that. Again, very helpful. Okay, and yeah, so we know again these cards is also like whatever do we need column shelf, row shelf, page shelves, filter shelf. So by default we have everything what we need as selected here, but I'll recommend you check this caption button on, okay, when you are working in the starting phase of your uh, Tableau exploration, so that you know what is being, how to read a particular graph and how it is changing and all. So with this, now we know how to hide, unhide titles and captions, how to format the captions and titles, how to get the summary table, okay, how to change the default preferences, how to change uh, the preferences from here for the formatting part, okay, and I think we are pretty much, and again, the view part, the pane part, the main body part, how to do that formatting there. Something that I want you guys to explore more. Okay, just right click here, format, and just explore all these options here as well. And I think we are good till here. As we can see, um, formatting wise, we have covered everything in Tableau right now. Okay, so the only formatting that is left is for the dashboarding part. That is something that will come to it once we get into the dashboarding part. Any questions still here? Anyone, any questions in the formatting part? Any part of the formatting that you didn't get? Okay. Mm, I think just give me a minute. Let me just switch my screen now. Yeah, so the last part that I want to cover for today is the charts part. I'm quite sure I'll be able to cover that in another 20 minutes, maybe before that. And this would again will reach to the midway of the course. Okay. Um, so let us just quickly start, and then we'll might after this might we can have a discussion on where we stand right now. Okay, so we have again just to start with this thing particularly. I'm quite sure all of you can make it by now. So we have this vertical bar chart here. Okay, again quite simple. In here I've made it using market. Okay, I'll just quickly rebuild it. I have market here in my rows, and then I have my sum of sales in my columns. So this one we call it as vertical bar chart. Okay, sorry, this is an horizontal bar chart. Again, maybe I just messed it up with some wording. Yeah, this is my vertical bar chart. And again, as a best practices, entire view, click on your text option, sort your data. Don't sort your data if the legend contains date value. Okay, if it is going, let's say month wise, year wise. Okay, then don't sort your value. Year wise, maybe you can do it. Month wise, anyways, it would be um, not required. Okay, because
So
January,
how
yeah,
does it format, Abhishek? When it comes to month, is it by alphabet or by the normal calendar format?
you tell me how should it come,
Should come by the month,
right?
calendar,
So
calendar
if it
year.
is,
I I mean, this question came to my mind earlier itself, but I did not ask it. I mean, the reason why I asked this question is in one of the reporting tools, I had come across the situation, okay, when I was working with
Can you
Hyperion problem.
mention the reporting tool name?
Hyperion.
Okay.
Okay, so there was this case wherein we were supposed to give them, a reporting chart reported based on the month. Okay, I don't know what was wrong with that tool, but it used to format in the alphabetic order.
Okay.
I had to build a custom solution for that and then bring it into the report so that we could format it based on the month format. So every time I bring into the level of the month, what it used to do is, it automatically used to bring in April first. If I have to take the legend wise, April, uh, April, May, sorry, A, then it would be like February, April, February, March, May, June, July, like that. It used to sort, based on the alphabetic order rather than the month.
Yeah, but in this case, it is not like that.
Probably,
I mean,
probably
it will
even there
not.
it might have got resolved, but yeah, when
Yeah.
it was in early days, so I'm talking about 2007. So
Okay. Okay. So in here, it's starting in the same manner only, the usual one,
yeah,
starting from January, ending till December. Okay.
okay,
Okay. And for the horizontal one, again, we have the same chart. Again, this is a handy one. If you want to swap your axis with rows and columns, then just click on this. Okay, and you can just swap your rows with columns. Sometimes it happens that you are not sure about what visualization to get, then you can just do it this way. Okay, so this way you have your horizontal bar charts here as a best practices. Again, I'll keep on repeating this, the best practices, because when I'll give you the final assignment, my expectation would be when I open any of the sheet, the text should be there. Okay, the entire view option should be there, the sorting should be there, and if the filters are there, then all the filters should be opened on the right. Okay, so that if I want to figure out anything, I can just quickly go into that particular sheet and figure out. So I'll be repeating myself throughout, so that this is the basic error that I should not see in any one of your dashboards there. Okay. Okay, that is why I was telling you this is the toolbar that comes in very handy there. This pretty much contains most of the things that you have to do in Tableau frequently. That is why there is a reason that they have given this on top here. Okay, let me just go to the stacked bar now. So again, the same bar there, market wise sum of sales. Uh, since it is a stacked one, you can stack it on any one of the things. So what was it earlier? Uh, yeah, categories there, right? So category wise, you can do that. Maybe you can just put category to colors in order to see the breakdown of this particular graph. Or maybe instead of category, let's say you want to see it region wise, then you put region on the color and you can see region wise it has changed. Or let's say you want to do it ship mode wise, you can put it on top of here as well. So I've showed you three ways. One, you can put directly here. Again, you can put directly here if you already have something here. Then maybe you can just put segment here and it will take segment. Or else if you want to change this to ship mode, you can put it on this as well. Okay, and you have this option here. Again, entire view, text on, sorted. Okay, and you can see now you have your all these options here. So some of you might be thinking like, what about these values that are not coming up? So since we have selected in the labels part here, we haven't selected allow labels to overlap, so it will come automatically like this. But if you click this, now you can see you have these values as well. So Tableau is smart enough to know that these values will overlap. That's why it is not giving. But in case if you want it, then you can maybe you can get it. But let's say if you don't want it, you want it for a particular to be shown here, you can just right click here, go to mark label, always show. So for that particular one, you'll get it. Maybe if you are taking a, let's say, visualization extract from here, then you can go for this particular option. Again, stacked bar is again similar to so when we have in a bar chart, we have a segmentation there. We call it as a stacked bar. Okay, you can get it from here as well. I think this is the option of stacked bar. Yeah. So let's say if I don't put this here and if I try making stacked bar here, so it has given again, it has put the same thing here as well on the stacked. But let's say if we have market here and let's say if we have category here. So I think if I click on this, it should put category on the colors part. Yeah. And you have stacked bar from here. So this is my show me button. We call it as crown jewel of Tableau. So if you don't know what to make, just put your things in your rows and columns and just click on this button and it will tell you what all things that you can make from this particular chart here. So as you can see, you have the option of making a table, highlighted table that you can make from this. You have the option of making a heat map. Again, what are these? I'm not going into this as of now. We'll get into it later. Then you have the option of stacked bar. Then you have the option of side by side bar. Okay. Then you have the option of tree map. Again, what are these? We'll see afterwards. Then what is this? Circle views. Then side by side circles. That is what we are having here. So we can have multiple charts here. From here, we can just explore it. All we have to do is put the things in our columns and row shelf and it will start giving you the suggestions there. Okay. So this is for our stacked bar. And again, we can stack on any of these things here. Then the next is the side by side chart, side by side bar chart. So let me just show you what I mean by this. So let's say I have market with me. I can put my market in my column shelf and then I have, let's say my profit as well. And let's say my sales as well. Okay. And so by default, Tableau will give you two graphs now in the same sheet. So what I can do is I can just simply click here, select the side by side bar chart, and I'll get both the, as you can see, all of this in one particular chart. So let's say if I want to extend my analysis to um, discount as well, I want to see the discount as well, I can put it in here. So now you can see again, these numbers are very low. That's why we can't see it. Okay, as you can see, these are in millions and these numbers are very low. Maybe let me just show you shipping cost. Maybe that would work. Yeah, you can see shipping cost is something that we can see here. Okay, again, these numbers are very low as compared to the other ones, especially this particular sales here. Okay, so this is how we can make a side by side bar chart. Uh, okay, I'm thinking one more way if I can. Uh, Let me just see if we can make it that way. So I have my market and then I have my sum of sales and then I have my sum of profit, right? Maybe if I can just put sum of profit here and you can see I can have it as side by side bar chart as well. And mm, okay, maybe we'll have some problem color wise. Let me just see if we can take care of that. No. Okay, again, we can make side by side bar this way. Okay, maybe if we can create a grouping here, we can change the color. But yeah, you can just go with the other one, other method only. I was just trying to see if we can create it this way. Okay, we can create it that way as well. All we have to do is after this is just put this measure, just press Control, put this measure names, click on this measure names, mm, and get it into the colors. And now you will get it. Okay, so we can make it this way as well. So what I did is, let me just quickly show you. So I put my market, then sum of sales, then sum of profit. Earlier I was doing it like this. Now I've put it in here. We call this as blended axis. Okay, when we want to show more than one measure in a particular axis, we call it as blended axis. We just simply drop it here. Something that we'll discuss in detail when we'll get into the dual axis part afterwards. Okay, but for now, just an introduction part. So my try is like whenever we are, let's say henceforth, we are going to discuss advanced topics. So I'm just giving you some introductions in the first place itself so that you are aware about those topics, and when I'll refer to those topics you can just recollect, okay, this is something that you have seen and now this is being used here in this particular manner. Okay, so the final step here would be press control, select this, put it on colors. Ah, just a second. Press control, select this, put it on colors. Just a second, let me get it from here. Press control, get this measure names, put it on colors. Okay, I don't know why it is. Maybe my control button is not working. Yeah, now it's fine. So all you need to do is put this measure names on the colors as well so that you can get them into the different colors. Now, if you want, you can put um, profit again here. Not profit, sorry. Maybe quantity. Earlier we were putting here. Now we can put it here as well. This will give me the same thing, as you can see. If I want shipping cost as well, I can put it here. We call this as blended axis. Okay, when we have more than uh, two variables in one particular axis. When we are showing more than two variables in one particular axis, we call it as blended axis. Again, a commonly asked question in interviews and also the certifications when we do it. Like, what is the difference between a dual axis and blended axis? So a blended axis is something then when we show more than two uh, measures in a particular axis. Dual axis we'll see later. Then we have our line chart here. Okay, again, very simple. I've just plotted year and then sum of profit here. Okay, so by default for all the year related values, all these values, let's say year or month or quarter. So all the time related values analysis, they come with a line in Tableau. Okay, then we have the discrete line chart. As we can see, year and quarter is something that is there. If I want, let me just make it to month. Let me remove quarter so you can see year and month wise analysis. And then we have continuous line chart. Okay, I don't know why I've selected it as area. Let me select it back to line. So what I've done here is, so this is my continuous line chart. Not really quarter wise, but let me get it month wise. So the same chart I have month wise. So this chart here, discrete line chart, and this chart here, the continuous line chart, they are mostly depicting the same thing only. Okay, so if I remove this year from here, now we have for one particular month, whatever is this total value, that is something that come from all January of all these years. I remember this, I have showed you multiple times by now. So yeah, so this is this chart, discrete one, and this continuous are giving me the same things here. Okay, and let's say if I want to see the distinction based on some segment here, I can put it on the color part. Now I can see three lines: consumer segment, corporate segment, and home office segment. I have three different lines for three different segments here. Okay,
So can we customize any of these names that we are looking at, Abhishek?
customize as in you want me to change this
Short
consumer.
forms. Yeah, short forms. Let's say, it could be for the same fields, or let's say for the month, we don't want the full month to be shown across, and we want it to be cut short to three characters, or
Okay, so let's say for consumer we wanted
just one
CON,
function. Yeah,
and for corporate we want COR, like that, right?
yeah, yeah.
So just click on this, right
Mhm.
click. You have the option of edit alias,
Okay.
and from this consumer you can make it to maybe CONS, and now you
Yeah.
can see you have CONS. Same way you can
Oh,
do it for corporate as well. You can just click on it, right click, and maybe CORP. Okay, and then again for home office. Again, you can do the same way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So in today's class, we are just keeping it simple, basic charts, basic formatting. With this, in the next class, we'll move into the a bit on the higher end now. So I'll just take 5 more minutes and I'll quickly just wrap it up. I have two more charts to cover. One is area chart, which is nothing but very simple to the line chart. All we have done is I can just simply select. Can you guys go on mute? Uh, okay, thank you. Uh, yeah. So I have this line chart with me. Okay, let me just remove this segment from here for now. And if I change this to, if I select this area from here, then I'll get an area chart from here. So line chart and area chart are basically used to depict the time dimensions here. Okay, these are the charts that are used for depicting or visualizing the time dimensions. Okay, and again, similar to the area chart, we have stacked area chart as well. Okay, how we can do that? Let's say if I put in some segment from here, now I can see all these values have stacked upon each other. So we make it as a stacked bar, stacked area chart now. So it is similar to stacked bar chart. It's just that now the difference between the two is something that has been stacked up over each another. Okay. So in the line chart, we were not getting this thing here. We were getting the separate lines for all of these. But in as soon as we select on area, we have stacked all of these over each other. Okay. So again, you can just see this example as well. I've created on ship mode. You can just go through this. Anyways, I'll share all these files with you. I think I've already uploaded all these files till module 4. It is quite complete there. And the next one would be our pie chart. Okay, so what I've done is so market wise, I have my sum of profit here. Okay, and if I want from here, if I select an pie here, not really this one, but let me get it on. Yeah, so I can get it my pie chart this way. And now as you can see, I have my angle option. So now I can maybe put this sum of profit on this angle option. And now this angle is created. If I want, I can just let me make it to entire view only. And let's say if I want to see this profit as well. So again, I can put sum of profit on my label part. And also let's say if I want to see market as well, then I can put my market also on labels part. Okay, let's say if I want to see market on top, so I can just bring it down. Okay, so this is one way to make a pie chart. The other way would be other way, which is the easier way. Put your market here in your rows, put your profit here, sorry, market here in the columns, profit here in the rows. Just click on show me button, click on pie. That's it. Okay, you get the same chart there. So just to make you understand how we are creating it, an angle is created, pi is selected from here. I was just making the earlier way, but this is the easier way to make it. And now again, we can do the same thing. We can put market on the labels, and then we can put the profit on the labels again. Okay, same way we have created the exactly the same pie chart here. Okay, let's say instead of the profit here, the absolute number, I want to show the percentage numbers. So we have this option, which is again the next class starting point for us. We call it as calculations in Tableau and we call them as quick table calculations. We can just simply click on the small button here, go to the quick table calculation, and as you can see we have a lot of quick table calculations here: running total difference, percentage difference, percent of total rank, percentile moving average. Again, what are these we are going to see in detail in the next class. We can for now we can just simply click on percent of total, and now you can see we have the same graph percentage wise. Okay, so this way we can have a percentage wise pie chart here. And let's say instead of market, you want to make it for some other thing, let's say region, then put your region on colors, again put your region on the text here. Now you can see region wise. Okay, anyone any questions now? I'm pretty much done with whatever I have to cover for today. Any questions?